Okay, we're going to go ahead and run through the steps for the t-test and then do an example. So go ahead and pause if you need to. So step one is we want to state the null hypothesis and then the alternative hypothesis. Then state the significance level, alpha, calculate the value of the t-test, then calculate the p-value, and then depending on that, if the p-value is less than the significance level, you would reject the null hypothesis. Step 6 is to interpret your decision in the context of the problem. You'll want to write your conclusion in a full sentence. So here is that t-test equation. And then we have that p-value equation down here that we used earlier. Okay, so let's go ahead and put it to work. So example 1, the manager of a restaurant chain goes to a seafood wholesaler and expects a large catch of over 50,000 prawns. So those are shrimp. It is known that the population is normally distributed. He will buy the catch if the mean, the average weight, is greater than 55 grams per prawn. So they do a random sample of 60 prawns. The sample mean is 56.2 grams with a standard deviation of 4.2 grams. And it's asking us to conduct a one-tailed hypothesis test with significance level of 5%, to determine whether the manager should purchase this 50,000 prawns. So we're going to walk through the steps. So step 1, I'm going to pick it apart a little bit. This is your mean. So the average weight of the prawns was 55 grams. Then there was a sample they went out and collected. And that sample is 56.2. So there was a total of 60 prawns, and that sample mean was 56.2 grams, and a standard deviation of the sample to be 4.2 grams. And we want to conduct a one-tailed hypothesis test with the significance level of 5%. Determine whether the manager should purchase the catch. So, step 1. Let mu be the population mean weight per prawn. The hypothesis should be considered. Here was that mean we want. We want every prawn to average 55 grams or higher. So then your alternative hypothesis is we want it to be greater than. So the null hypothesis is H sub 0. The alternative is to be greater than 55. Step 2, identify the significance level, 5%. Step 3, you're going to use your formula up above, here in the purple. What do we put in? The mean. Actually, we'll just go through it down below here so it's easier to see. So in that t-test, we have your mean of the sample. So that sample of 60 prawns was 56.2 minus what you want, 55. over the standard deviation, and then you divide that by the square root of the sample size. So this equation will go into your calculator, and that is your t. Step 4. So step 4 is to calculate that p-value, depending on which of these three we have. So we have the greater than. So we're going to have to use our formula, and there is our p-value. So this is our graph of our normal distribution. Those are our t-values. We found that t to be 2.21, and we want that area under the curve representing your p-value. Step 5. The p-value of 0.0154 is less than 0.05. So what that means is we have evidence to reject the null hypothesis and in favor of the alternative. So step 6, wrap it up. Since we've accepted the alternative hypothesis, we can conclude that the mean weight, the average weight of our 55,000 prawns should exceed the average 55 grams per prawn. That means the manager should purchase all of those prawns.